You've done it. Don't pretend you haven't. You've picked up your cat, looked them directly in the eyes, and said, "Do you actually love me?" And they stared back at you, completely blank. Maybe they squirmed to get down. Maybe they yawned in your face. Maybe, if you were lucky, they did something that felt like affection, and you held on to that for the rest of the day. But you never quite knew. Because cats don't wag their tails. They don't run to the door when you come home. They don't perform love the way dogs do or humans do. And so millions of cat owners spend years with this low-grade question running in the background. Does my cat actually love me? Or am I just a very reliable food source they've learned to tolerate? A team of researchers decided to find out. They studied over 1,000 cats across multiple environments and documented the specific behaviors that indicate genuine emotional attachment. What they found surprised even them. Most cat owners spend years wondering, does my cat actually love me, or am I just a walking food dispenser? A real study with over 1,000 cats finally answered this question, and the results surprised even the researchers. By the end of this video, you will have 5 specific, scientifically validated signs to look for, things your cat may be doing right now that mean exactly what you hoped they meant. Let's start with the one that's been happening in front of you your entire life, and that you've been misreading. Sign number 1. The slow blink. The expression of love cats invented for us. The first sign researchers documented is one you've almost certainly seen. Your cat looks at you, and then, slowly, deliberately, their eyes close halfway, hold, and open again. Most people think their cat is sleepy. Dr. Karen McComb and her team at the University of Sussex ran a formal study on this exact behavior, testing it across multiple cats and their owners under controlled conditions. What they found? Cats produce significantly more slow blinks toward their owners than toward strangers. More importantly, and this is the part that changes things, they found that the slow blink is reciprocal. When researchers slow blinked at cats they had just met, those cats were measurably more likely to approach the researcher afterward. The slow blink functions as an affiliative signal, a trust marker. In the language cat behavior researchers use, it is a non-threatening display of positive emotional state directed at a specific individual. In the language cat owners use, your cat is smiling at you. Not metaphorically. They develop this behavior in relationship with humans. It is, in a very literal sense, a form of love that cats invented specifically for us. What to do right now? Find your cat. Look at them softly. Close your eyes slowly. Hold 1 second. Open. If they blink back, you just had a conversation that was 10,000 years in the making. Sign number 2. The allogrooming. They're treating you like family. Sign 2 is one most owners notice, but don't fully understand what it means. Your cat grooms you. They lick your hand, your arm, your hair, sometimes at 3 in the morning, whether you want them to or not. It seems like a quirk. It seems like habit. It is neither. In feline social groups, allogrooming, the technical term for one cat grooming another, is exclusively a behavior between cats that have a close social bond. Cats in feral colonies do not groom strangers. They do not groom cats they merely tolerate. They groom the cats they have chosen as family. Research published in the journal Behavioural Processes documented that allogrooming in cats is strongly correlated with affiliative bond strength. The closer the relationship, the more frequent the grooming. When your cat grooms you, they are not confused about what you are. They know you're not a cat. They are placing you in the category of beings I have chosen to maintain a close bond with. They are performing the behavior that, in their social world, signals, you are mine and I am yours. The next time your cat licks your hand, even if it's sandpaper rough and slightly uncomfortable, that is your cat placing you inside their inner circle. In the most literal way they know how. Sign number 3. Sleeping proximity, where they choose to be most vulnerable. Sign 3 is about where your cat sleeps, not whether they sleep on you, though that's meaningful too. Specifically, where they position their body when they are in deep sleep. Sleep is the most vulnerable state for any animal. Eyes closed, reflexes down, threat monitoring reduced. In the wild, a cat that sleeps in the wrong place near the wrong creature doesn't wake up. The research team found that cats in their study consistently chose to sleep either on or in direct physical contact with their primary attachment figure, the person they showed the most affiliative behaviors toward, significantly more than any other sleeping location. But the detail that surprised researchers was this. It wasn't proximity that mattered most. It was orientation. Cats sleeping near their chosen person frequently oriented their bodies so that their most vulnerable area, the belly and vital organs, faced toward that person, not away from potential threat, toward the person they trusted most. If your cat sleeps anywhere near you, facing you, touching you, or simply choosing your proximity over all other options in the house, that is your cat's nervous system making its clearest possible statement. You are the safest place they know. Sign number 4. The tail-up greeting, an involuntary declaration. Sign 4 is one that happens automatically, and that's exactly why it matters. When your cat sees you after a separation, even a short one, even if you just came back from another room, and they approach you with their tail pointed straight up toward the ceiling, that tail position is not a choice. It is an involuntary expression of positive emotional arousal, the feline equivalent of a smile that appears before you realize you're smiling. Research observing cats in multi-cat colonies found that the tail-up greeting occurred almost exclusively between cats that had established positive social relationships. Cats who were merely cohabiting, tolerating each other but without genuine attachment, did not greet each other this way. The behavior was later documented in domestic cat-human interactions. Cats consistently produced the tail-up greeting toward their primary attachment figure, not toward all humans, not toward whoever fed them most recently, toward the person they were most bonded with. Here is what makes this sign especially significant. Your cat cannot fake it. The tail-up response is generated by a subcortical emotional system, below conscious control. It is as automatic as a human blush. Every time your cat's tail goes straight up when they see you, that is their body declaring something their brain has no choice but to express. They are genuinely happy you exist. Sign number 5. Bunting and scent marking, the deepest claim. The fifth sign is the one researchers described as the most intimate feline behavior directed at humans. Head bunting. Cheek rubbing, the full-body press where your cat walks along your legs and presses the length of themselves against you. Cats have scent glands concentrated at the forehead, cheeks, chin, and flanks. When they press these areas against you, they are depositing their individual scent signature on your body. Now, scent marking as territory happens in many species. That alone would not be meaningful. What makes this significant is who cats bunt with. Research analyzing bunting behavior in both wild and domestic cat populations found that cats reserve bunting for their most trusted social partners. Not for objects they claim ownership of, for beings they claim kinship with. In feral colonies, bunting occurs most frequently between related cats, mothers and offspring, siblings, deeply bonded pair bonds. The behavior is associated with social cohesion, not territorial assertion. When your cat bunts you, especially when they seek you out to do it, walking across a room specifically to press their face against yours, they are performing the behavior that, in their social world, means, I claim you as kin, not as property, as kin. You are family. And they are making sure, with every forehead pressed to your cheek, that both of you know it. Here is what the research actually found, underneath all 5 signs. Cats that showed all 5 of these behaviors consistently, slow blinking, grooming their human, sleeping in proximity with vulnerable orientation, tail-up greeting, and bunting, scored highest on what researchers call the Secure Attachment Scale. This is the same scale used to measure the attachment bonds between human infants and their primary caregivers, the same neurological framework, the same behavioral indicators. Cats, the research concluded, form genuine attachment bonds with their humans, not conditional relationships based on food access, but authentic emotional bonds with a specific person. The researchers noted something else. The cats who scored highest on the Secure Attachment Scale were not necessarily the ones who received the most attention or the most food. They were the ones whose humans responded consistently when the cat sought them out. Not perfectly, not constantly, consistently. Every time you answered when your cat called you, every time you let them settle into your lap without pushing them off, every time you sat still long enough for them to find you. You were building something, and the study says, you built it. Look at your cat right now. If they're slow blinking, if they've ever groomed you, if they find you when they want to sleep, if their tail goes up when they see you, if they press their face against yours. They're not confused about how they feel. They never were. Tag someone who needs to hear that their cat actually loves them. Tell them, the study says so. If this gave you something, hit subscribe. Every week we cover the real science of how cats bond, communicate, and experience the world, so you never have to wonder again. Next week, the 5 things cat owners do that accidentally teach their cat to pull away, and how to reverse every single one. That one is going to be uncomfortable for some people, but it's going to be worth it. Drop a comment below. Tell me, how many of the 5 signs does your cat show? Give me a number. And share this with the person in your life who is slightly too emotionally invested in whether their cat likes them. They need confirmation. The science gives it.